All right, so we got Willie D responding to Stephen A on our edition of Black Fatigue Politics. Here we go.
You see people going up against them type of powers, usually talking about a good person. Stephen A., I really didn't even want to address this again, bro. I really didn't. But I heard what you said today. I heard what you said. I don't know if that was, I think that was, maybe that was last night that you did the video where you responded to what I had to say. Some of y'all don't know. Let me bring y'all up to speed. So this is what I had to say in regards to Stephen A. going after Representative Jasmine Crockett. I said, Stephen A. Smith taking shots at Jasmine Crockett ain't just messy, it's weak. Dude is sitting on one of the biggest mics in America, and instead of using it to uplift, he's tearing down a Black woman who's out here putting in real work.
All right, let me stop it right there. Nothing about what Stephen A. said is weak, Willie. Nothing he said. It's a critique. You want to reframe it into an attack. If we're going to be a successful race, if we want to be able to compete, because I hope that's the end goal here with all this division within the Black community. I don't think it is. I really feel like y'all just want to be on one side with shenanigans and then outcast anybody who comes with accountability. That's what I'm seeing, because Stephen A. had every right to go at Jasmine Crockett. She doesn't present herself well on a national stage. I don't know what she does in Dallas, but as far as how she presents herself, that's worth critiquing. And anybody want to say, well, Trump is this and that, he doesn't present himself well either. Me personally, I criticize him on that. I have an issue. I have a big issue with that he can't keep his mouth shut sometimes. But as far as this, to go ahead and this is somebody that y'all supposed to be cool, and now you're shooting them down over this woman. It sounds kind of simpish to me. Just me, but I don't think anything is weak, and I don't think he attacked Jasmine Crockett. This is how you're trying to reframe it to make the whole culture. I'm going to start saying the culture, because it's not all Black people. I know y'all want to say people like me aren't really Black. Whatever the hell, I really don't give a fuck. But he's not attacking Jasmine. He's critiquing. There's a difference between attack and critique. And this is shit that kids say. If you get on the kid, I've had my little daughters, both my daughters have done this. My oldest grown, but I get on them and they say, do you like me? Yes, I like you. If I didn't like you, I'll let you do whatever the hell you want to do. But because I love you, I'm critiquing and disciplining you. Same here. If Stephen A. didn't care, he probably wouldn't say shit. Jasmine Crockett probably wouldn't even be on his radar because he wouldn't care. But the fact that he cares, he really cares about being a Democrat. I don't see why the hell he do, but he does. Because y'all have already casted him out. You starting, Steven Jackson. The rest of them are casting him, trying to cancel this dude for having a critique. Guess what? That critique could make her better. If she really was trying to make a change, she might be like, you know what? Stephen A. is right. And I'm gonna cover that as we go along. Let me shut my mouth.
It ain't critique. That's betrayal. Jasmine Crockett ain't the problem. She's the kind of woman who walks into a room full of snakes and makes the snakes flinch. Meanwhile, Stephen's showing us what happens when the paycheck gets louder than the principal. That's sucker shit. Straight up. Straight up. And trust me, 50 years from now, when folks study this era, and they will, Jasmine Crockett's name is going to be in the books next to the fighters, the truth tellers, The ones who shook the system. Stephen A., history don't reward the ones who made noise. It rewards the ones who made a difference.
Come on, Willie, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? The only people who gonna look back studying this, that's gonna side with this shit that y'all letting slide, like Jasmine Crockett getting on TV acting hood when she's not really hood. She's from a private school in St. Louis. The only people that's gonna look at this and say they were doing good are the degenerates. Whatever thugs that come up in the future. Those are gonna be the only people. The black people who are about self-respect, entrepreneurship, getting it out the mud, making a change, that's really about God, that really has morals and standards, they're not going to look at this and see anything good. They're going to look at Jasmine Crockett and people like her and say, oh, these are the ones that are that was holding the black community back. If we could have put them down and bought up the people like Ben Carson, I can't even think of his name now, the dude in Florida, Byron Donalds, people like them, those are the people right now who could advance the black race. But the culture, which I gotta start saying the black culture, because not all black people, the culture is canceling them out, because right now the culture got the mic, the culture got the control of who's in and who's out. So the culture is canceling the good black people. It's just like football. You would never see this in the NFL. And when y'all talk about racism, this is the prime example. Look at the NFL. Half of the players are black. Basketball, I think most of them are black. Why? Because they're not really looking at race. They're looking at who's the best, and they're picking based off the talent. Black culture don't do that. Black culture only picks who's degenerate. You got to do something like not get married, divorce, sleep around, be promiscuous, run the streets, have your guns, get suspended, get pulled over by the police and run your mouth instead of just showing them your license and going about your day. Looting, robbing stores, putting men on child support, go out, have 5 kids by 5 different dudes, and then get online and talk about here's how you scam and get all of them to pay your lifestyle. Y'all love all that. Sexy red. Everything that's degenerate is what you're defending. Jasmine Crockett does not defend the good of the black community. She's not defending Byron Donalds. As a matter of fact, she's fighting this dude. Ben Carson, none of them. So to sit here and say, when they look back on history, no. Even King, Malcolm X, all of them would look at us crazy right now. Because they would especially look at you and be like, how are you saying America was never great for black people? They probably look it down like it's way better now than it was when we were getting water hosed and couldn't go in certain places. Black people can go anywhere now as long as it's not trespassing or something else. Or some special private club or something like that, that it ain't based on race. Let me see what else he got to say here.
I can guarantee you that, because when I look back at history to this day, that's who's rewarded. Those are the people that are studied in the history books. Those are the ones we're writing our projects on. Nobody's going to write a project on you, Stephen A., with the trajectory that you're going in.
I want to know these people he's talking about that we look at. Because if I look at King didn't do nothing like Jasmine Crockett. We still debating to this day whether he was messing around on his wife. I mean, it's pretty well documented with the FBI, but he hid it. He had a certain, he presented himself a certain way, and he kept other things private. Malcolm X wouldn't have went for none of this. So I want to know, who are you talking about in history? Rosa Parks, married. Tell me who you're talking about. Harriet Tubman, married, all of them. Who are you talking about that is equal to Jasmine Crockett, the hood chick? Tell me who you talking about.
With your current trajectory, nobody's going to write a project on you, no matter how accomplished you are in sports media. Nobody's going to write an essay on you. Nobody's going to study you. Nobody's going to look up to you. People looking up to you right now are only looking up to you because your platform and you got money. That's it. And in America, we already know, oftentimes that's all you need is some money. And people gonna kiss your ass. People gonna ride with you. As long as you got some money, you're gonna be all right in America. We know this, right?
Yo, Willie, you off for this one. I don't know what you're talking about, but Stephen A. has made major strides. Like, you can't even sit here and down this dude. I wish I had some of the credentials he had. And I'm actually proud of Stephen A. for even doing what he's doing, because he's one of the only ones that's still claiming to be liberal or Democrat that's willing to be introspective. He's looking inside within his party, and he's critiquing, because that's really what it's going to take for y'all to get back in office and actually make a change. If y'all get back in office, it's going to be bullshit again. And because y'all have no accountability, it's going to be everything Trump did. If y'all get back in 2028, because y'all not looking within and having accountability, y'all going to mess up everything that's been put in place to help. And when shit hits the fan and we in a recession for real, y'all going to say it was Trump's fault. You see how Trump came in office? You know, he said a few things about Biden, but guess what? He's making shit happen. Because right now we were supposed to be, it was all hell supposed to be, happening right now. We supposed to be in a depression, the worst ever since the 1920s, 1929. That's where we're supposed to be, and we're not there. Why? Because Trump is doing things right. He's being accountable. He's being masculine. He's having masculine order. Because I know y'all forgot, but men run the world. If men, we're ordained to keep order, and that's what Trump is doing. That's what y'all keep forgetting. And that's the problem with the Democrats. Even you defending the Democratic Party, they don't like you either. You get a pass now because you black, but guess what? As soon as you get a feminist in there, she gonna be looking at you crazy if you try to have any type of power. Why? Because you a man. The part of the Democrat party that's been hijacked by the feminists don't rock with you either. Just how you'll try to say Republicans or conservatives don't rock with me because I'm black. It don't matter, because they have created an environment where I can go out and create something and get bread and become stable and wealthy. I don't need them to rock with me. I actually need them doing what they're doing. Less government, get out the way, get this country out of a deficit. Because all these programs that the Democrats want, food stamps, everything else, all these socialist policies, is a good chunk of why we're in such a deficit that we're in. You look at all these blue cities, most of these blue cities are underwater and they're borrowing, which is good. But guess what? You got to keep going. You got to keep going to keep the city going. All right, man. Let's see what else you got to say.
I wasn't going to say nothing, bro, because I was really trying to get off the gas. I heard a few other things that you said over the last several months, and I was just trying to fall back and just, because really I do not like the idea of going at another black man at all, especially a black man of influence. I do not like doing that because we're in a position here in this country that we cannot afford any more enemies. We can't afford any more enemies.
Then why make enemies? Stephen A. didn't say one thing that was attacking Jasmine Crockett. Guess what? If Jasmine Crockett would present herself better, not act so street, and just because Trump do it don't mean that she should be able to do it. What's that saying? We done lost that when they go low, we go high. That's all Stephen A. is really saying. Is just because Trump do it don't mean you got to do it. And the thing is, what works for Trump might not work for you. And that's what we're seeing. She been pushed out of her seat and everything by the redistricting. As where if she kind of would have just shut her mouth like Stephen A. said and played along, she might have had help. You don't have to like somebody to work with somebody. I've had jobs like that where I didn't like my manager or the person under me didn't like me because I was strict. But we had an understanding and we got the job done. And that's all Stephen A. is saying towards Jasmine Crockett. Stop attacking the dude that's in charge so much. That's one of the laws of power. Don't attack your boss. Play along until you got the chance to pounce. And that's what Stephen A. is trying to tell Jasmine Crockett. Stop fighting this dude that's in power because it's going to mess y'all up in 2028. What he's saying is he's trying to save the Democrat Party. He's trying to save the black culture, but the black culture don't want to be saved, Willie. Because Trump won. Jasmine should be trying to position herself to get along. Because to get in office, you're going to need both sides. What Trump did is rare. And honestly, the only reason Trump won is because Democrats are so bad. Trying to have men go in women's bathrooms. The 50-11 genders. It's all this stuff. And then black people, reparations, anything else to complain. The world's tired of it. Only the culture agree with this shit. But a lot of us on the outside, we're tired of it. That's why more black men are starting to vote Republican. And you got the black women who's trying to say we hate them like little kids do or whatever. No, those percentage of black men who are going Republican understand ain't shit in the culture no more. I'm tired of being a victim. I'm tired of saying, when was America great? America has been great since slavery ended. Now, was there some up and downs? Yes. But we figured it out. We got through it like brothers and sisters fight. Guess what? White people and black people had to fight a little bit. But we're at the point where we figured it out. Like it's to the point with me right now, I could barely get help from my own people. I've had so many gifts to me from white people who want to see me succeed. Most of my black people in the black culture, they're waiting on me to fail. They're waiting on me to have a black moment, a Negro wake up moment. Who's it? O'Shea Duke Jackson. They waiting on me to have a Negro wake up call, but I'm not because I move how I'm supposed to. And any sins that I have, I'm working to correct those now. Getting out of debt, all the other stuff. It's not it's not Stephen A. Smith. It's the culture. It is Jasmine Crockett. Because I can't stand her ass either.
We got enough enemies. So we need all hands on deck. So as much as...
Bro, Willie, you don't believe that, because if you needed all hands on deck and more black people, y'all wouldn't be trying to cancel conservative blacks because we don't agree with y'all. Y'all are creating your own enemies. By you getting on here and attacking Stephen A., you should have stayed out of it. Because he didn't say nothing personal about Jasmine Crockett. He critiqued her actions. So you're wrong on that. You're creating this. You're creating the enemies. You literally use Steven Jackson. I can't remember the woman's name from MSNBC, but all y'all have created an enemy out of Stephen A. Smith. You did this. And I'm telling you where this is going. It's going to go to the black people who are degenerate about the culture. It can't get none done for themselves. And it's going to be the black people, a lot of them conservatives, even the liberal ones, that are like, hey, I'm liberal, but I'm not progressive. There's going to be that divide, like I keep saying. And that's what's going to create the war, because the degenerates in the black culture is going to want to go to war with the blacks who did it right. You can see it. They passed a law a couple years ago with Biden, basically saying that if you paid more than a certain percentage down on your house or bought your house, there was like a 10% penalty or something like that. Or they added something on to where that 10% went for the people who couldn't afford it, the housing. That's a form of war right there. Why should I have to pay for a person who didn't save up, wasn't disciplined? Why should I have to pay for them to get a house? That's the stuff I'm talking about. And that's what's about to happen. That's about to be the divide.
It's in my mind that you have crossed that line and threw black folks under the bus. I'm still saying, man, this dude still got a powerful voice. I'm looking for him. I'm really, really hoping that he can make that turn and start riding for his own people instead of riding against his people so much.
All right. I'm trying to let it play, but he's saying so much crazy shit. I got to stop it. Stephen A. is riding for his people. I'm going back to the kid analogy because y'all are acting like children. That's what children say. When you critique them and discipline them, they automatically go to the manipulation of, you don't like me. This is what Willie is doing right now. This is what Stephen Jackson is doing. This is what the other black women who have attacked Stephen A. Smith. They are using manipulation. And what's the manipulation? To say that Stephen A. is going against black people. There's a verse, my favorite verse in the Bible, Proverbs 27:6. It say, wounds from a friend can be trusted, but kisses from the enemy are deceitful. Which basically means if somebody says something, it may hurt your feelings, but if it's true, they're not trying to be your enemy. But somebody who wants something from you and they're not willing to get it the right way, they will kiss up to you, being deceitful to get whatever it is they need to get. And once they got it, they gone. They don't care what happens to you. And that's where Stephen A. is at. Yes, he's throwing out wounds, but they're to be trusted. Why? Because he really wants the Democrat Party to succeed. I am conservative Republican, but if Democrats were in office, I would want them to succeed too, because the country succeeds. But the path they're going down, they're not. It's going to keep driving the country apart. And for Willie and a lot of these other immatures in the culture, this is what y'all doing. Y'all are using manipulation. Because it's really messed up to sit here and say that Stephen A doesn't like black women, the black culture, all of that. If he didn't like y'all, he wouldn't be talking about y'all. The dude could talk about everything else. He can just go back to sports and he's good. He don't have to talk about issues in the black community. But just like me, a person who's been through divorce, who can't raise his kids because the system says that I'm a weekend dad. Not because I cheated or anything like that, but because the woman I'm with got tired and said, hey, I don't want this. I want to raise a kid on my own. I want you to pay. We're starting to speak out. Y'all got to stop this manipulation. Every time somebody has something to say about you, doesn't mean we don't like you. And some of my best growth in life has came from when people told me things I didn't like.
Because, you know, the thing is, Stephen Jackson, he made a hell of a point. Stephen Jackson made a hell of a point when he said that you do not go hard on white dudes or white billionaires, he said, like you do black billionaires. He was referencing how you were kind of really laid back and patient when Serena Williams' husband checked you about talking down on her and her Super Bowl halftime appearance.
All right, let me stop it there. Why would Stephen A want to go at Serena's husband hard like that? He probably was being respectful because that's Serena's husband. He had his critique. Her husband did what a husband do, defended her. And he's like, okay, it is what it is. She still shouldn't have did the shit. But Stephen Jackson had no point. Stephen A. Smith don't have to go at other races the way he go at the black community. I have to say this shit to my friends all the time who call and say, why are you so critical of the black community? Because it's my community. I care about what we do here. I'm not worried about them out there. It's another thing y'all do like children do. Well, you didn't say nothing to him. I'm not worried about him right now. I'm not worried about your little brother right now. I am looking at you. I am disciplining you. It's the same way with the black community. All Stephen A is showing that he cares. All that these black celebrities, Willie, all they're showing is they're being manipulative. Because they can't offer any substantial reasons other than Stephen A hates black women, hates the black community. He tap dance for the white man. All that to me now is bullshit. Unless you could say you did this to cause this. All that other shit is manipulation to me now. It is shaming. That's what it is. It's a shaming tactic. You want people like Stephen A, people like me to get defensive. No, we're not sucking up to the white man. No, I'm not doing that no more. And I hope Stephen A don't do that. I hope he don't apologize either. Because that's not what's going on. If Stephen A. wanted to be a part of the white community, he can go do that. The dude has the platform, has the money, has the clout, where he really could just say, fuck the culture, I'm out. But he doesn't. That's why I'm sitting here to tell you, you need to rethink, man. I know you my elder. I got respect, but you can learn from a baby. So what I'm saying is you need to reflect. All y'all need to reflect and stop saying that people who think different, black people who think different than you, hate the culture, because that's just not true. Me personally, I want to see the culture do better. I wish I can get a bunch of people in the culture to come up together. I got somebody in my circle right now who is killing it, but we can't even work together because he's too busy showing his trophies and stuff to everybody in the crew. He comes around, we hang out, everything's centered around him. We see all his trophies. He leaves and go back, everybody chilling. Not once has he said, you know what, I'm bringing the whole crew with me. Let's get to work. It's crazy, man. Let me see if anything else here.
Where she was crip walking and all of that stuff. And you didn't have anything to say. You did a lot of stumbling and all of that. And your excuse was that, well, you was on television and you was working in a professional capacity. And so that wasn't the time or the place. But I've heard many, many times that you were working in a professional capacity and you went off on black men. I distinctly remember you going off on Kwame Brown, like going off, like using a whole segment to go off on Kwame Brown.
All right, before you go, this is what I'm talking about. He might not have cared about Serena's husband. Serena's husband's not black. So now you're going to try, see what you're doing is you're reversing everything instead of saying, you know what, he went off at Kwame because Kwame's his brother. He's black. You know, most of the time, our emotion is higher with people who are close to us or people who look like us versus outsiders. A lot of times we can let people we don't know or outsiders, we let that shit go. That's how it is with me. I get called Uncle Tom, Coon, the shit all the time. It doesn't bother me when it's online on the internet or just some random person that may have heard me talking in a restaurant or something. That don't bother me. But when my brothers, my close friends, people I grew up with, people who know what I'm about, who I am, and know that I'm the type of person that will wake up at 2:00, come change your tire, it's happened. I'm a mechanic. My old business was a mechanic business. And pretty much everybody in my circle has called me at some weird ass time. And 95% of the time I dropped what I was doing to go help them. Matter of fact, I have a friend of mine who started a roadside rescue business, like on an app, because it's like DoorDash now. He don't know nothing about cars for real. You know, I change tires and the battery stuff, jumpstart. He literally got busy Sunday night. He had too many calls, and my lady and I, we went and got food. He's come back. We was about to eat, enjoy the night, watch Netflix, whatever. Yeah, I'm lying. YouTube. But anyway, he called and was like, man, I got too many calls. You think you can go handle this call? Man, I got ready, put my work clothes on, went out. It's 10:30 at night. Went out, handled it, came back. Thankful as hell. And his comment to me is like, yeah, man, I know you conservative, but I really don't give a shit. You was there when I needed you. That's all I need to hear. But I got friends now who don't mess with me none because of it. All right, let's see what he got to say, finish saying about Steven Jackson.
And I know the only reason why you did that is because ESPN pay you to do these type of things. If they don't, I can't even imagine them not paying you to do these type of things, because only have this type of energy for your own people. This is the part that I can't understand to save my life.
All right, since you can't understand it, I'll repeat it for you again. Most people don't get emotional for people that don't look like them or that they don't know. Most emotion is held for close people, people you love. People can say shit to you all day, but if your wife says something crazy, you might snap. Because her opinion matters more than somebody you don't know. Same thing with Stephen A. The average person can't process, so they take this shit y'all say as fact. They don't teach critical thinking anymore. If they did, a lot of this stuff that y'all say, people would just dismiss it. That's how it's supposed to happen. You're supposed to have smoke for the people you close to, because iron sharpens iron. And now y'all just want to walk around and be dull all the time. Nobody wants to sharpen anybody anymore in black culture. Not the black community. Black culture. The moral, high standard blacks, they like the iron sharpens iron. Byron Donalds, I guarantee you, if Stephen A has something to say that was based on a critique that would help Byron, not shame or make him look stupid for no reason, if it was something to help him advance and become better, Byron to be willing to hear it. Jasmine Crockett, she gonna take everything as an insult because she's all high and mighty. And dudes like you, Steven Jackson, I think Cam Newton's getting a little better. But all y'all worship these black women and put them on pedestals and act like can't nobody say anything to them. That's why they running wild, because won't nobody check them. Most of these black men now that's married, they wife running everything. It's probably a few happy married black men because they put their foot down and a woman know she can't step out of line. But for the most part, black men have gotten soft. Black men don't even believe in checking their women no more. That's why the culture's messed up.
Stephen A., you only have that type of energy for your own people. If I'm gonna have that type of energy for anybody, it's going to be that for, if it's going to be against somebody in my race, it's going to be against a specific person. It's not going to be collectively. But you have none of this type of angst, none of that for others. So,
yo, everything he's saying, I'm gonna end it right there. So everything he's saying is probably not the person I would want around me. I would want Stephen A. Why? Because Stephen A's not going to let me look stupid. Willie's probably going to let me do whatever I want as long as it's within black culture. No matter if it's right or wrong. If it's within black culture, oh, it's cool. Thug, run the street. I'm in my thug gear, blah, blah, blah. He probably be cool. What's up, man? Cool, cool. Yeah, cool. You know, he might not necessarily be there if I'm doing dirt, but he knows it's happening. But if I got some type of status, I got the bread, he probably gonna hang out. But if I'm somebody like Stephen A, who is critiquing that thug or critiquing our politicians because we should, that's what America is about. We are supposed to hold our politicians and people who represent us accountable. That's why they call them representatives. And you should be able to say, I don't like how you represent me. That's all Stephen A. Smith said. Jasmine, I don't like how you're representing me. You got to think about who you have around in their mindset. And I'm telling you, somebody like Willie will let you look any type of way as long as you agree with the culture. Stephen A. Smith gonna call your ass out. Even though a lot of the stuff I don't agree with, especially in the past, lately he's been on it. Well, a lot of stuff I don't agree, definitely don't agree with his politics, but I do like how he's critical. And I'm telling you, if more Democrats were critical like Stephen A. Smith, these feminists, the alphabet community, a lot of the men and women sports, it wouldn't even be a thing. It'll go back to fairy tales and make-believe fiction. But because the Democrat Party has been infected, hijacked, and not checked, they've gone unchecked. That's why it's so loony over there. So Stephen A., keep doing what you're doing, man. And here's the thing. If you don't understand what's going on, Stephen A., there's this thing called black culture. And black culture is a dictatorship. You either do what it says or you're excommunicated. When they talk about no kings, black culture is the king of the black race. It's the dictator of the black race. And you went against that. So now you're out. And I doubt they'll ever let you back in. I'm going to tag you in here. Hopefully you get to see it. I'm a small creator out here. But if you do see it, man, show me some love. All right. I'm done with this. Subscribe or just like the damn video.